Hello,
Hello.
Hello.
welcome back to Pentiment. We are nearing the end, presumably.
Could you be able to finish it tonight?
Oh, so here we are. What are we doing?
Good question.
Magdalene here. We are, right. They're,
Oh, the frog.
the frogs.
Oh yeah,
Plague of
the
frogs,
frog
you know.
plague.
Yeah.
Mhm. So let's see here.
So we were in the mine and we saw the
Yes,
interesting drawing.
pottery of what Magdalene interpreted as human sacrifice
Yep.
to
And
pagan gods.
then someone tried to kill us,
Yeah, but
dropping
not
a rock.
very.
Yeah,
Didn't
sort of
put a
like they
lot of
tried
effort
once
into
and
it.
then was like, "All right, I'm out of here."
Yeah, they didn't like try to, take out the rope that, and
Yeah,
strand us down there.
seems like that would be maybe a better idea. But
So
Seems like
yeah,
what vampire
I a little unclear. Um, So yeah, we now need to find. We were going to look up stuff about the, I guess the
look, if it's
founding of
the
the abbey.
if it's the thread puller, they're not used to actually having to get their hands dirty.
This is
So
true. This is true.
did we tell? I can't remember what we said to Ots. Did we say we were going to do the human sacrifice to him?
I think so. I think I
Okay.
was just like, let's fuck them. We're gonna show the human
I-
sacrifice.
Ah,
Let's see, right. So we need help translating the Latin in the Historia Taciae because we got the fucking book. But we're not good enough with Latin. So we got suggestions for, okay, Gertrude,
oh, right.
Baltus, Werner, and Father Thomas. Yeah, we're not gonna ask him. Uh, and then for, yeah, stuff about the founding of the abbey and stuff, we had wrote to Matthew, who was very angry and bitter still about the whole people tried to burn him alive thing. Uh, and but he told us talk to Gertrude. Uh, and Thomas and Elsa. Okay, so the at the mill. Okay. Magda. Did you see the froggies on Sunday? uh, I've never seen so many together before. Father Thomas was so angry, but I think it's funny. Tommy says the twins did it, and they're an example of children who don't follow the Ten Commandments.
Huh.
10 Commandments don't say anything about frogs.
Or it's Andreas's legal
Uh-huh.
expertise. Actually, they don't say anything.
I don't think so. Does that mean they won't get in trouble with God? Yeah, I don't think God
Yeah.
cares about sneaking frogs into the church. Oh, good. I like them, even if the adults have to scold them. Mom scolds me sometimes, too, when I do something bad. That's why I try to listen to her and behave and say my prayers. Smart girl. Need something? I'm looking into the history of tasking. Okay, now we can talk to Ursula. Your grandpa said he told you a lot of things about the old ways. Can you recall anything? Yeah. I'm fortunate that both my grandfather and Attilia taught me what they knew. Her mind was still so sharp even up until the end. Sharp tongue, too, as I recall. She would not suffer fools. What do you remember from them? Grandpa told me all sorts of charms and things to do to protect against evil. But I imagine you're not interested in that. He said it was Perchta who protected the forest from witches, not St. John. God and his saints have dominion over the town and the abbey. But Perchta still watches over all of our wild places. What about Saint Sadia? Grandpa believes in the saints just as he believes in Perchta. He said the Perchta's power is shown in certain places and times. No conflict for dominion between her and the saints. I see. And Attilia knew all these old chants in another language. She told me what they meant, but she couldn't translate them, I suppose. They had to do with Perchta, but also God and St. Moritz. So where did they come from? She didn't know, but I think I figured it out after she passed. There were some people coming through town, and I heard them speaking their language. It didn't quite sound like the words Ottilia used, but close. And they said that St. Moritz was the patron of their home, too. Really? Where were they from? Graubünden. They were Swiss. They said there was a holy spring in their town that had been blessed by St. Moritz. Romansch. Early blend, a blend of vulgar Latin and early German.
Still around. Switzerland.
Mm-hmm. Huh, I don't know. I only overheard it that one time. Other than from Ottilia, I mean. She said we all used to know the chants, the language, generations ago. I don't know. Maybe we weren't always the people here. What do you mean? Maybe we came from somewhere else. Our families, I mean. People have been in Tassing since before the Romans came. That's what I've heard. People say the mine has been here forever. But, I don't know. I'm just trying to make sense of things. Maybe there's no sense to be made of it. I don't know if any of that is useful to you. I can't imagine Father Thomas approves. Probably be worse if he increased. Good. Not everyone appreciates hearing about these things. Yeah, you probably should be careful. Why? Not everyone is as open-minded as I am. I just don't want you to get in trouble. I appreciate the concern.
Otilla was speaking Proto-Indo-European.
She's carrying on the old
The old
matriarchy.
traditions. Yeah. Yeah. The old traditions. That's right.
Sorry, that's what the Proto-Indo-Europeans threw out,
Mm.
according to the. Uh, what?
Hey, seems to be having a rough time.
Berner. You were supposed to come check on Dad today.
I don't think I trust him to be
Yeah.
practicing medicine.
Or Big York. Twins have nothing to say.
Yeah, what the?
Hey, Magdalene. Come to admire a well-chiseled craftsman at his best?
uh, Our name's Kraft.
Where? I can't see one. Ouch. As soon as I stepped into that. If you come to see the repairs I've been doing, then, to tell the truth, it's not going as well as I'd hoped. What seems to be the issue? I assumed I'd hit a snag when it came to the stone or the tools, or my lack of artistic skill. But it's more than that. It's like, in my head, I can't see the right way. Besides, my dad wants me to help out on the farm more. I want to be there, but Grandpa taught me everything about the craft. He really wanted me to succeed, and I do enjoy the work. As if I can talk to the stone, you know? Not literally, but I can see how lines of tension flow through the rock. I understand how to form one thing from the other, how to create, make something lasts. Grandma even offered to sponsor an apprenticeship under a master stonemason. Dad will support me either way, but I still feel like I'm pulled both directions at once, you know? Du- 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 du. Yeah, sounds the most reasonable way, doesn't it? I still can't get away from the doubts. No one can fully escape their doubts, but don't let that stop you. God, I wish I had your confidence and fortitude. Did you learn all that from Klaus? Christ, this is hard. I don't know what to do. Yeah, take the apprenticeship.
Oh my god.
Well, we really, you're right, you know, Mary, last time we said, like, we just need to choose whatever we don't want them to do.
Uh-huh.
So terrible. We just always convince
I think
people.
we've passed maybe one of these checks. Entire game.
I think I should stay. My Thomas asked me to reinforce the walls of the church. I'd like to reuse stones from the ruins of the abbey, but Father Thomas forbids it. Says it's unseemly. It's just quality stone going to waste. I don't get it. He's being meek. I don't know if that's what I would call it.
Yeah.
Stones from one holy building to another.
Yeah, they're already consecrated.
Anybody in here? Yeah. Ciao, Magdalene. In there.
Howdy, y'all.
Hey,
Hello.
Moose.
Hey, Moose.
How's it going?
It's going all right. How's the murder investigation?
Well, never really
Oh.
done any investigating.
Well,
Perk to pinching at you. No, Jack Frost.
First, a pinching at your nose. Baltus has been explaining many of your funny Bavarian sayings to me. Must admit, they are rather charming, even if the language is a bit rough to my tongue. Will you be staying in Tassing long enough to learn more of our funny sayings? I should return to Genoa soon, but Baltus and I still have some business to conduct. It's taken longer than I anticipated to complete. His accounts are complex. Maybe forced to remain a few more weeks. Baltus has made me most welcome, so I'm in no particular rush. Only wish to return to Genoa before any heavy snowfall, otherwise my journey will take twice as long. Baltus, do you have a moment? Only one, I'm afraid. What can I do for you? Oh, this actually was not what I meant to ask him about, but yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess that's fine.
Sure, this is
Of
more
the people
important.
you could have accidentally asked, this seems fine.
Yeah. It's just like, should we be telling him about his drunk friend who's passed out on the street? No, we gotta talk to him about the book first. More important.
books, we all know,
Mm-hmm.
they're the most important thing. Also, that guy's an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
Came across a book about the history of Tassing, and I was hoping you could help me read it. Oh, no, not today. I'm far too busy for that at the moment. We have our hands full preparing Christmas ale, you see. Of course. Sorry to bother you. Not at all. Apologies I couldn't be of more help.
So
Real busy
we
microbrewing over
we
here.
can't actually tell him about Werner.
Maybe now? Hello, Magdalene. What can I do for you?
Oh.
We do not have a lesson planned for today, did we? No, Baltus. This is about a different matter. I found Dr. Stoltz passed out drunk
There
in the
we go.
commons, sleeping in a ditch. I see. This is becoming an increasing problem, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Thanks, guys.
What a fucking mess.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Apollo.
Welcome back.
Hello.
Oh, hi. What?
You are at the bottom of a well.
Well,
Out of the well?
not
Not
really.
quite. You're closer to the top of it, but
I'm climbing.
there you
you
are. You're climbing. You've escaped.
I came here to save mankind.
Good. They fucking deserve it.
How are you, Lewis?
I am all right. I am tired of driving. I just drove for about
Oh.
4 hours.
Oh God.
That's too many hours.
Way too many
It's-
hours.
You know,
Oh.
it's how long it takes between the place I'm moving to and where I'm currently at.
Oh, Magdalene.
Magdalene.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, hey,
Say, Hods, I see you sneaking into the forest on occasion. What exactly do you do there? Not sneaking, just going. I go there to meet Big York,
Oh, big yard.
to lift logs.
yes,
What?
I
Why
love this.
would you do that? You lift big logs to see who's stronger. It's a contest.
This fucking rocks.
Does anyone else participate in this contest? Not usually. There aren't many others in Tassing strong enough other than Big York. Simon's big, like Sepp was, but he's not interested.
Big yard.
Big York.
Big yard.
Big York is big.
He's always busy taking care of the farm. Maybe Apollo can join us one day. He's been getting out the last few years.
You know, all that exercise chasing frogs.
Who's winning so far? York, but barely. I've been gaining on him.
Hell yeah.
He's growing older and softer with his council work. This is a thing that men just do from time to time. Me and York, sure. I don't know about anybody else. You're welcome to join us, Magdalene. Oh, do you have any small logs that would suit me? Plenty of trees in the forest. We'll find you what you need. Maybe you'd put some meat on those bones. Sure. Christ, York will get a kick out of that. You really mean it, right? Oh, yeah. Great.
Hell yes.
Talk about this game. Where is that picture of Andreas that I had?
Is it the one where the Andreas learns about misogyny?
Yes.
Uh-huh. It's like that one fucking Instagram post of the shirtless guy.
Yes,
Oh,
it's
God,
like,
yeah.
Uh-huh.
What?
where is
Uh,
Give me a second, I need to find it again.
oh no. Yeah.
Okay, I found it. I'm gonna post it on the voice chat. It's this picture.
What is?
Yes, good.
It's so
Wow.
good.
It's so funny.
Oh, I love Himbo Andreas.
Uh,
I love the fucking picture. It just like has the lines.
mhm.
It's great.
It's a very good edit of that fucking Instagram post.
Uh-huh.
How's the mural coming? Paul mentioned your progress is quite impressive. I'm making steady progress. I think I'll be finished just before the new year. Oh, wonderful. I'll have to bring Andreas and Ulrika by sometime to see your progress. We won't get in your way, of course. I'm sure they'd love to learn about the process. You're all more than welcome, but watch your step. There's plaster everywhere. Just mixed a new batch to keep the wall moist. It's hard to maintain the right texture when it's so cold out.
This is true.
I can imagine. I had a similar problem when I helped my mother in the bakery. Rolling dough in winter was such trouble. I had to throw out so many batches that wouldn't rise. Your discipline is admirable. I was a rascal. A real rascal back in the day. Skipped on working with my parents more times than I can count.
Yeah, he stole somebody's hat too.
Mhm.
Wasn't Big York. It was
I
the
think
toonmaker.
she brings this up.
Oh
Oh,
no,
okay.
York had always been more hardworking than me. I was a thief and
Ah,
scoundrel.
ah,
Aha!
Started with cakes from my mother's table, still hot from the oven. Soon it was silverware, mugs, trinkets I found around town. Ulrica's little hat once even belonged to Andreas
Yep.
Mailer, your father's friend. I stole it from his head. Of course, stealing is against the Lord's commandments. So my father would make me return everything if I hadn't eaten it already, and march me to church to pray. Father Thomas grew accustomed to seeing me more often than Sunday mornings. What changed? I grew out of the habit over time. I think I started to see why my parents had such a devotion to the Lord. Stealing was my way of acting out. But when the troubles started in town, I realized that my thieving wasn't doing any good. Decided I'd rather honor my father and mother, as God commands. I think it did some good. It gives
Yeah,
me,
you know.
it gives me grace with Andreas and Ulrika on the hard days. And with the rest of the town, too. Sure. Won't keep you any longer. I'm sure you have plenty of mural work to do. Elsa, what brings you up the hill?
I will be right back.
Dad was telling me your family's been in Tassing for hundreds of years. Oh, is this for the mural? It'd be a pleasure to see the Muellers featured in the Rat House. They've been a pillar of Tassing for generations. Though I'm afraid I only know a little bit about them. And much of that I've heard from others. Leonard didn't care to talk about the past. I met your family, the one you were born to. Your family name was Caviezel, wasn't it? Oh. Not a soul in town has asked me about my family in years. I was beginning to think my neighbors had forgotten us. I'm not surprised your father remembers the Caviezel's. He was sweet on my sister before he met your mother. I'm the last of us left now. Doesn't sound like a local name. Why wouldn't it be? I'm Bavarian. It is my name. So, it's a Bavarian name. No one else in town has a name like that. Shouldn't you be Caviezelin? I've always been called Caviezel, as were my sisters and mother, and her mother before her. My grandfather told me the Caviezel's have lived in this area for hundreds of years. Perhaps even 1,000, though it seems impossible to imagine a time so long ago. They were pagans? The original Bavarian people. Here even before the Romans. My grandfather said his grandfather told him the Caviezel's resettled the town after the Romans left. Built their new home right on the spot where they had been living when the Romans arrived. That's a remarkable story. It reminds me of Parzival's quest for the Grail. Driven from the court of King Arthur and wanders the countryside, honorless. Meets a holy man who brings him to God, and through regaining his honor, Parzival completes his journey to the Grail. What a lovely idea. When I think of the ancient Caviezel's driven from their land, only to find it again and become Christians, they feel nearer to me. Do you understand? It's like when my dad tells me stories about courting my mom. I don't remember her face, but when he tells me about her smile, I can almost recall it. Doesn't matter whether you really remember. When I sing my sister's favorite songs to Ulrika, I may not know all the words anymore, but that's alright. Just as I may not know exactly how the Kvisels resettled Tassing. What matters is that I feel close to her and them, even though they are so far from me now. That is what stories are for, Magda. Now go on. You've got a mural to complete. Magda.
Good dog.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good dog.
But it's still so beautiful here, Martha. One more moment. Alright, take your time. Oh, hello, Magdalene. Dad, look who it
Spoonhead.
is. Good morning, Mr. Strickern. Hello, Martha, Carl. How are you today? On our usual walk around town. November hasn't grown too cold yet. Dr. Stoltz says Dad needs to keep using the leg or the pain will get worse. And I'm getting old. Not so old you could sit around at home telling stories. You're about the same age as my dad, aren't you? Klaus has always been too stubborn to grow old. Shame what happened to him. As if you're not stubborn too. No arguments from me there. Yes, Peter. Given that the alternative is Werner, I'm glad to have something. Can't even find his ass with both hands. Dad! What?
Brutal.
Anton would have made a better doctor than him. Ah, Anton, my poor boy. It's alright, Dad. I'm sorry, Carl. It's not your fault, Magdalene. Just a babe, then. It's my fault that he died. It's not, Dad. You know it's not. You shouldn't have been with me that night. Shouldn't have. I was a fool. Abby was engulfed in flames. The heat, you wouldn't believe it, seared the hair off my eyebrows. I was bleeding. Anton tried to drag me out of the fight. Then that godforsaken Landsknecht stopped between us. I hope he burns in hell. I was half expecting to pull out and just see the head of the guy who was hanging out at the inn before.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I think that's who it is.
Yeah. Can't even imagine what that was like. How old were you during the revolt, Martha? 7 or so. I didn't understand what was happening. Someone brought Dad home in the middle of the night. It was dark, confusing. There was screaming outside. Mom and a couple of the men who brought Dad in were trying to patch up the wound, but it wouldn't stop bleeding. She kept shouting, "Where's Anton? Where's Anton?" There was blood on the floor. You cried so much you threw up. We couldn't get you to stop. Couldn't understand where Anton had gone. Dad tried to explain, but... My dear, enough of that. So sorry. How did you go on? Did I? I don't know. Some nights I think I'm still there. Abby's always burning. Helena passed not long after. I was left alone with Martha to care for. Had to keep going for Martha. Somehow my daughter grew into a wonderful woman despite it all. I suppose that was all Helena's doing. Dad, if I'm any good, it's because of you. Thank you for telling me about the night, Carl, Martha. Time doesn't heal, Magdalene, but it does dull the ache. It's time we continue the walk, Dad. Yes, dear. Feeling much more alive now. Be well, you two. Hi, Mags. Sorry, I can't talk for long right now. Yeah, Killian can call us Mags. That's fine. You know, it's almost December. Preparing for the festivities is hard work. Mom and Dad need my help. They're not as spry as they used to be. I know how that is. Still no idea who attacked him. No. He'll be fine though, right? I hope so. I'm doing the best I can. He'll do great. It's still odd that you're working on the mural. I wouldn't have imagined. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have let him call it. Thanks. How's the mural coming along anyway? One step at a time. Learning about the history of tassing is a challenge. At least you can read in other languages. What if there's a history of tassing in one of those books that no one here knows about? Hardly. I don't think his town has ever been important enough. Suppose so. Sorry, Magdalene. I really have to get back to work. Oh, who are these people?
You know, some guys.
Landschneck's in training.
Can't talk. I see.
No, if they were a Landsnecht, they would have the signature. I chopped part of my clothes so you can see the other clothes under it. Stuff going on.
Yeah.
I'm Katsimiritz, a musician with Alexander. I'm Magdalene Druckerin. I live here in town. Are you Polish? Yes. From Kalitz. What are you two doing in Tassing? Ask Alexander. Sorry. Alright. Hello!
It is kind of fun to think that Kazimierz is like the one person for whom the script in which the text is written is literally
Oh, literally the
how he
text.
writes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is kind of fun to like think through like that part of the because there are other cases, right, where somebody talks the way they literally write, and like it switches to that after they are seen writing.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
but it is I think interesting that like Casimir's necessarily is like that is 1-to-1 the way like, or much closer to 1-to-1 representative of the way that communication is happening.
Right. Are you one of the burgers? My man and I are in need of refreshments. No, I just live nearby. I'm Magdalene Druckerin. Ah, from the print shop we passed on the way into town. Yes, I'm running it for my father while he's recovering from an injury. terribly sorry to hear that. I hope he has a swift recovery. Thank you. Not much business for a print shop at this time of year, is there? Nor for a land house. Looks like the travel has all dried up. How did you wind up here? You don't look like a merchant. No, I should think not. No, this was just a stop on the way back to Würzburg from Padua. I am Alexander. This is my partner, Katsimiritz. We are musicians by trade, travelers by necessity. We just purchased a new instrument for Katsimiritz in Padua. Their luthiers are extraordinary.
Oh.
We're
Hell
heading back
yeah.
to Würzburg for the Christmas celebration. Quite an important competition there for the Meister singers. The weather turned rotten so quickly. The rain has been awful, and the roads through the passes have all been mud. I don't know if we'll be able to make it to the competition now.
Oh no.
If the passes do close before we're able to move on, will they open up soon? I'm afraid not. Once the pass is snowed in, you're going to be waiting a while. I was afraid you'd say that. I suppose I should plan for us to stay here through the winter. Sorry, cats. Do the people here like music? Have you ever been someplace where people didn't like music? It pains me to admit this, but I've certainly been places where people don't like my music. Well, with your patience and God's help, we will endeavor to find music you and your neighbors will enjoy. I look forward to hearing it. Thank you. Until then. Brings you to the Golden Hand. I'm on my way to the Abbey. Thought it'd be helpful to explore the ruins for the mural. Lots of history to be uncovered there, no doubt. You mind yourself in that place. Could collapse any day now. Don't worry, I'll watch my step. Be sure you do. I'd hate to have to tell Klaus I saw you last if you don't return. Say, Magdalene, would you mind doing me a favor on your way back to town? Hannah's birthday is coming up, and I asked Gret to bake her something special. Make her something. No. Killian and I have our hands full, so I was hoping you might pick it up. Sure. You're a credit to your mother, Magdalene. Thank you. Have some Baltz's fresh brew set aside for you when you get back. It's his best yet. That'll be just fine. Be well, Magdalene. Nope. God. Down. There you go. Well, we gotta go check out the forest first.
I'm gonna see if the log throwing competition is happening in here. That's so funny. I love that conversation.
Sometimes you just
Nice
go out into
cookie.
the forest with your buds and
And
toss
throw some
logs.
trees. Yeah. Any pigs?
Riding down the mountains. Winter is coming. Talk to Sister Gertrude. Yes. Should be able to tell me all about the convent's history for the mural. And she knows Latin. There's Gertrude. Hello, sister. I have a favor to ask of you. Of course, Magdalene. I'll help whoever I can. I have a book, Historia Taciae, and I can't read it very well. Can you help me translate it? Oh, I'm afraid my Latin isn't good enough to translate something like that. Its grammar structures are far too complex. I'm sorry, Magdalene. That's alright, sister. I'll have to find another way. There's one more thing, if you don't mind. It's about the rat house mural. Oh, did you need more paint? I believe I have enough galls stored away. No, thank you, sister. I have more than enough paint. I wanted to ask you about the history of Curacao, actually. I'd like to include the Abbey's founding and the history of Tassing Saints to the rat house mural. I wrote to Reverend Matthew, since he lived in the Abbey, but wanted to see the place firsthand. Ah, Brother Matthew became a reverend, did he? He was always suited to such a role. But I don't suppose that's what you came up the hill for. You're curious about the saint's history, yes? I was hoping you could show me around the convent and tell me about its history. The poor Clares don't allow outsiders within the convent, even other women. Mother Francisca wouldn't like anyone coming in for such a worldly concern. Well, that makes my job difficult. Let me finish, Magdalene Druckerin. However, Mother Francisca always welcomes those who are considering joining the order. If a young woman sincerely considered joining the convent, she may be allowed to enter and observe the sisters. Who knows what else she may discover while contemplating the holy life? There's always a drawn to your veil.
You know, it's the hottest new accessory.
I suppose exploring all my options can't hurt. Touring the convent will take some time. Would you like to go see Mother Francisca now? We'll come back. Son of Mousefanger!
Son of Mousefanger.
Son of Mousefanger!
I love Son of Mousefanger.
Why
They're
can't
so
I
good.
pet the kitty? The kitty's head is so big.
Well, that's just how kittens are. Their
It's-
proportions are all goofy.
Yeah, but the head is bigger than the adult's head.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
you know.
that's how medieval illustrations are. The proportions are so goofy.
That's true. That's true.
Half the time when they drew dogs, they just looked like guys.
Yes. Alright, let's go to the bakery first. Also, who have a bad feeling?
For the Latin translation.
Gertrude, Baltus, Werner, Father Thomas. Uh-huh.
Yeah, Thomas is the last viable option, right?
I mean,
Yeah,
unless Werner's they've sobered him up. But I don't have high hopes for him.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna be able to. He's not gonna be able to read anything for like a day at least.
Is he still? Yeah, they didn't even go get him yet.
Yeah, I think you need to like
Progress
do something
time.
that passes time before
Yeah.
they go and get him. Yeah,
That's fine. Well, we can go visit
they're
the
all locked
abbey
in spot.
or the convent. Nico sent me to fetch Hannah's birthday gift. Ah, of course, I have it right here. I'm rather happy with how it came out. One of my best, I think. Ulrich would have been proud. I've always loved your pastries. They're delicious. All the process needs plenty of love and care put into it, and God's grace, and honey.
Most importantly, that last one.
Yeah.
Don't forget that. It'll fuck it all up if you don't put that one in there.
Uh-huh. Good to see you, Magdalene. Were you able to stop by the Albans? I have Hannah's pastries here. Gretz sends her best wishes. Perfect. Hannah will love this. Thank you. The little things, you know? Hannah told me you asked my dad for advice once. No point denying it, I suppose. Your dad's a stoic one, but he has his wisdoms. You know we haven't always been good to each other, me and Hannah. But after the revolt, things had to change. I try to find ways to show her I appreciate her now. Golden Hand would fall down without her. And she knows it. I want her to know that I know it too. I kept you too long. Thank you again for the help. Alright, let's go.
Let's go lie about being interested in joining the Clares.
Mm-hmm. Oh no. I hope it's... Yeah. Mother Francisca, I'd like to introduce Magdalene Druckern. The printer's daughter, yes. God bless you, Magdalene. Father Thomas told us of your father's condition, and we pray for his recovery daily. Thank you, Abbess. Such is our duty, to serve the Lord and the community that provides for us. What is this about, Sister Gertrude? You know our holy rules. Why bring young Mistress Druckern to me? Forgive me, Mother. Magdalene is searching for a place in the world, and is contemplating the holy life. I thought observing the sisters might aid her in her spiritual search. She was encouraged by the idea. Right, yes. So you've decided to consider my offer after all. If God is calling you to the convent, I'm more than willing to help you fulfill that divine cause. What brought this change on? Why are you interested in joining the Poor Clares? Oh no. Ah. I feel like these all should be prefaced with lie.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I think we are supposed to take this as like real the first two as like real thoughts that Magdalene could be having.
Sure. Yeah, yeah.
And like the difference is right. She is like utilizing real fears of
Yeah,
hers to versus making up something from
right. I'm worried that helping my father, running the shop alone, and finishing the mural are too much from me. Just like you said. You should not abdicate your worldly duties for fear of the unknown. However, I agree that working a printing shop and painting are not suitable duties for a woman.
Mhm. I You absolutely how dare you think this is a getaway, but also told you so.
Thank God you have turned to us for
Thanks,
help.
Francisco.
It is no wonder you have felt overburdened by all of this. Please come. I am happy to tell you more of our order. Our small convent used to be part of the larger Kursai Devil Monastery, as I'm sure you've been told by Sister Gertrude. However, poor Clares live far differently than the Benedictines that once lived here. We believe that it is not ours to produce, and live solely on the alms of the community of Tassing, as they see fit to give. It is not ours to produce. I mean, I know, okay. Interesting way to frame it. None of the sisters here own any personal property. We share this convent as a gift from the church. We believe that the Lord called us into a life of poverty and service. Does such a life appeal to you, Magdalene? I'm not entirely certain yet. I'd like to explore and look around, get a feel for the place. Magdalene, you must not have understood me. We have deliberately closed ourselves off from the world. I won't have a laywoman bothering the sisters from their duties or disturbing our rule. However, I will allow Sister Suzanne to show you our duties. Please take your time. When you have finished, please come find me and we will discuss your decision to join. Finally, I thought she'd never finish. What? Truthfully, I'm not here to join the convent. I'm looking for references for a mural I'm painting in the rats. Magdalene!
This is all gonna come out anyway. We might as well fucking tear off the band-aid.
I'm gonna take a look around. Where are we going? I like you're just like, all right, bye.
Poor God.
The convent has many parts: the kitchen, the aquarium, the chapter house, the yard, the old workshop. Though no one uses that old shed anymore. I'll leave it to you to decide where to go first. Let's see inside the convent. Oh, Margaret.
Margaret.
Let's go to the kitchen.
Hell yeah.
This is the kitchen. There's not anything that interesting here. Sister Marie and Sister Isabeau take care of most of the kitchen duties, but everyone pitches in when needed. How goes the cooking? As well as the Lord wills it. My old fingers fumble from time to time, but it is my privilege to prepare supper for the other sisters. Shouldn't someone else be helping you, sister? No, no. The Almighty has given me a gift. Just as God gave Paul a thorn in his side, so too did he give me the pains of age to strengthen my faith.
Yeah, you know.
Such things are a blessing when compared to the pains Christ carried upon the cross. Didn't Christ die so that we don't have to suffer unnecessarily? In the next life, yes. But even Christ said we would face hardships while we live on this earth. I have chosen to find meaning and devotion to the Lord through my hardship. Thanks for sharing your perspective. Are you delivering something?
Just tell everyone. I'm sure nothing bad could come of this.
I'm learning more about the
Surely
convent's history
Francisco
so that I
will
could
learn
finish a
and
mural in town.
kick your ass.
Oh, I see. This kitchen has been used for decades, longer than I've been alive, to be sure. I enjoy preparing meals for the sisters. They nourish us, but I can never bring myself to butcher the animals. Sister Isabel has gratefully taken on that task for me. We need sustenance, but I feel butchering any animal is wrong, according to the rule of St. Francis. To cause suffering to any living creature is unnecessary and evil, even if God granted Adam and Eve dominion over the animals. The kitchen seems fairly simple. Is there anything here from the... Magdalen's like, okay, that's nice.
Cool. Thank you.
Moving on. No more than the structure itself, I'm afraid. Cookware needs to be replaced. He needs replacing over the years. Though some nights a ghost appears to me by the cook fire, a lost spirit trapped between heaven and hell. Sister Marie, not this again. Ghosts aren't real.
I think that I might have very specifically been playing Magdalene when I did my playthrough to take every opportunity to say ghosts aren't real.
Could have been a ghost of one of the sisters from the founding of the convent? Maybe even Saint Tassia? If it was, she's never said a word to me, though I fell prostrate in prayer before her. The spirit, whoever it is, rose up through the ground at vigils. Dawn and dusk are the hours when boundaries between this world and the spiritual world are weakest. We may be the newest arrivals here, but this convent is very old. Perhaps there was something Roman underneath this foundation centuries before. Yeah, a fort. The spirit may seek to know the presence of God now that it rests on holy ground. A spirit in Kirsau. Why would it come to the convent, though? It breaks my heart to think this spirit was crying out for help, trapped beyond heaven's reach. Why don't we keep going, Magdalene? It's better not to get Sister Marie too upset.
I hate when a spirit rises from the ground next to the stove for the cooking fire.
Ooh. They've got a mural. This is the chapel, where all gather for mass and liturgy. It's the oldest part of the convent, and the most drafty. Hello again, Gertrude. The sisters have done some minor retouches over the years, but it has represented the abbey from its earliest days. There's the tower and the library. The cloister is still being constructed here. Yes. The tower was a Bergfried long before the structure became a monastery. The duchy gifted it to the Benedictine order after the Holy Roman Empire grew. They had no use for it as a keep. These walls have protected Tassing from attacks of spirit and steel for generations. Comparable to Aeneas's sounding of Rome. I don't... Sure.
Yeah, it's exactly the same.
Uh-huh.
I too think these are equivalent.
God called Lady Sabine to lead our sisters and brothers in 1261. Lord Kirsau's castle was destroyed by fire in the year of Emperor Frederick II. Only the tower remained. Why will this be remembered?
You know, for reasons.
Uh-huh. Well done, Magdalene. The first lists the abbey's founding date. The Lady Kirsau was actually the one to suggest the old castle be turned into a double monastery. We added the second shortly after the revolt. Mother Luminata thought it would be fitting, even if the sisters were not here, some record of what occurred would remain. Kirsau is unique, a double monastery with 2 saints, one male and one female, to guard the town and abbey. Many things have been built and torn down on this land over generations. Who knows what else used to be here? You're right, sister. This mural will be a great reference for the rat house. Then I'm glad to have helped. God bless you, Magdalene. You go to the aquarium. Here's the aquarium. Most of the Abbey's visitors come in here, but aren't allowed to enter. We aren't allowed to go into the outside world either. Like Mother Francisca said, isolation is part of our vows. Sister Gertrude once told me the old Benedictine sisters used to go out into town sometimes, and even talk to men on occasion. And I'm stuck here, staring at these walls for the rest of my life. Doesn't seem like Sister Suzanne thinks much of her life here. Yeah. Sure. Are you unhappy here, Sister Suzanne? I don't know. My father promised me to the church as a baby. Some oath he swore when my mother struggled in her pregnancy. So there I was, dropped into the Poor Clares the summer I turned 17. And they took you in just like that? Nobody asked what you wanted? Why should they? The Poor Clares rely on the offerings of others, even their children, to subsist. My family is devoted to the church. I've only been in the convent for 2 years, but I'm trying my best. I don't mind the prayers or the hours, and I'm sure of my devotion to the Lord, but this isn't what I wanted. But since when did a woman ever get what she wanted without being punished? Eve couldn't even manage it. Well, I have more autonomy to go where I want, but I'm still bound by the expectations of marriage and homemaking. I remember the days of running around town. I wish I could have gotten married. I wanted to be a mother. Sometimes I get jealous of Sister Gertrude and even Sister Margaret. At least they got to see something of the outside world before they were 20. Don't forget Matilda and Boyslaw. They used to be part of Curacao too. Oh yeah, them too. Thanks for listening, Magdalene. Let me show you the rest of the cloister. It's colder today. There's not much in the yard that could help you, I think. Anything that was here has long been covered in weeds. All I know about this place is that the walls were added when the convent was built onto the monastery. Oh, God bless you, Sister Benedicta. Sister Suzanne, God bless you. This ice is hard. Do I recognize you, Sister Benedicta? I think I've seen you in town once or twice. Yes, you'd have seen her. Sister Benedicta is the youngest of the sisters. Mother Francisca allows only one sister to deal with the townsfolk. Benedicta received this privilege. Burden, more like. I have to run around everywhere, gathering all the food and doing all the chores. I'd rather be inside where it's warm. What are you doing up in the convent, anyway?
It's so good.
Snooping. Oh, don't let me get in the way then. What an adventure.
Hell yeah.
Actually, I wanted to ask you some questions. Do you like being a nun? Oh, yes. I don't mind at all. It's far quieter than home, and I don't have to share my bed with my siblings anymore. I like to help the older sisters, and I don't mind the chores, except when it's cold like this. One more question. Have you seen any mysterious figures or ghosts lately? Ghosts? No, everything has been normal recently. I haven't noticed anything odd. Is this about Sister Marie's ghost? I think it's Mauritius myself. Oh no. So there is a ghost in the Abbey. Well, I haven't seen anything myself, but if there is a ghost, I like to think it's Mauritius. Don't tell Mother Francisca this, but I found an old book about Christian legends hidden in the workshop. Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
It said that a Roman commander named Mauritius conquered Tassing, but the colony failed. Most of the town was empty until Christian refugees found the town, hidden in the valley. It's a miracle. Yes, it's like this different retelling of St. Moritz saving Tassing.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe. I
Weird.
don't remember if the book mentioned any saints. The Latin was hard to read. Anyway, when Sister Marie said she saw a ghost, I thought it must be Mauritius trying to get us out. A Roman ghost couldn't be happy about his tower being turned into an abbey, could he? What did you do with this book? Oh, well, I had it with me in the kitchen one day, and well, I accidentally
Oh
laid the
my-
Oh,
fire
shit.
cooker on it.
Oops. I don't think I learned that that's what happened to the book. I think I somehow didn't know that.
I tried to fix it, but it's unreadable now. Sorry, Magdalene. I... I suppose it's better that the book got some use before it was lost forever.
Imagine if Andreas had to hear this. It would have like exploded on the spot, just spontaneously combusted.
God, I can see his, his shocked and
That
upset
shocked
face.
expression, yeah.
He's
His
got
little eyebrows
such good
go up.
expressions in this game.
Yeah, this game does a really good job at like conveying emotion through a combination of like stance and small changes in facial features. It's real good.
Oh, the art studio.
Yeah. For art.
The workshop is covered in dust. Yes, this was the Benedictine Sisters' workshop. They used to make badges and art for pilgrims coming in to see the hand of St. Moritz. Looks like everything was just left here after the fire. Nothing's been used in years. We can't subsist on painting, and the poor Clares don't produce goods for sale, so we have no reason to be in here. But art allows us to find beauty in life. Even Christ said the Father clothed the lilies of the field in beauty. I agree, but that's not the rule of the Poor Clares. Mother Francisca considers art a temptation into hedonism. Mother Francisca doesn't let us come in here, unless to put something in storage. I've come in a few times and noticed some of the brushes have gone missing. Paint pots, too. You think it's the ghost?
It's the ghost.
The ghost wants to paint! You think one of the sisters is secretly painting? Oh, Lord, no. We all live in too close together in the convent for something like that to go unnoticed. In any case, I think it's sad the workshop is left like this. Truthfully, Magdalene, I don't think you should join the convent, even if that's not what we're here to do anyway. Gertrude talks about you, and you seem to love your art. Without it, you'd hate it here. Yes, indeed. There's old parchment scrap here. Is it gonna be? Oh, okay. Looks like scrap
Random.
from a mat.
It's not the thread bowler for once.
Yeah, it's like, are we gonna see perfect handwriting? The Mithraeum of Tassing had been destroyed by a flood.
I hate when the Mithraeum gets destroyed by a
That's
flood.
the same word I saw in the Roman section of the mine. This might be from the book Sister Benedicta found. I wonder why it would mention the Mithraeum. Because it was about the Romans. The note says the Mithraeum was destroyed, so I suppose it doesn't matter now. Valuable paint left to dry and crack. Oh, old badges are beautiful. Well, you've seen the entire convent. There's not much here. What do you think of it? It seems like a life of drudgery. Yes, certainly parts of our life here can be frustrating. It's been so long since I've spoken to anyone from outside the convent. I'm reminded of the life I once had. Now you have me thinking about whether or not I should remain with the sisters.
You ready to see if you said the thing's good?
I'm sure that we didn't.
Ah. Oh.
Why does that? What? Why is that negative? I don't.
It rules that you're so bad at this.
Maybe it will get better in time. All right, we'll do some sneaking around. We should return to Mother Francisca before she suspects something. Thank you, Magdalene. Today's been more interesting than any I can remember in the Abbey. Let's find Mother Francisca. She'll be wanting to hear what you thought of the place. Oh, hi, Rosette. What is your assessment of the poor Clares? Is the good Lord calling you to a life with us as a sister? I appreciate that you could just fuck with Francisca so much.
Like, damn, I thought of another thing the Lord might want.
I think this will piss her off more, though. The honest answer.
Hard to say.
I think I prefer my books and printing. In any
It depends
case.
on if we how much we think she knows that we're lying on the third option.
That's true. I see. Be careful that this mural does not become an idol for you, Magdalene. Just as Eve had a weaker will than Adam, you are liable to stumble on the fruit of temptation as well.
Fuck off.
Yeah. Our community is quite modest compared to the splendor of an old Benedictine house operating under the rule of a powerful abbot. I see why fewer women are drawn to the order these days. Well, thanks for allowing me inside. Oh, hi, Gertrude. Ah, Magdalene. How did your little expedition go? Yeah. Sister, there's something I don't understand. The Abbey was so prosperous. Why didn't the monks rebuild it after the fire? What a task that would be. The chapel was beautiful. Stained glass always caught my eye in the mornings. Second my beer. There's a great deal of anger and sadness in Tassing that night. The abbot felt the brothers and sisters were no longer welcome in Tassing and moved on. In truth, the abbey's dissolution was inevitable. Curacao was running out of money and patrons. The riot and fire were simply a particularly awful and painful way to end the monastery. Did anything survive the fire? Some of the buildings are intact, but all are terribly overgrown. I haven't dared forage in the rubble. I doubt you'd find anything of help for your mural inside, other than charred wood and parchment. It might still be worth taking a look if I'm careful. I worry after you sometimes, Magdalene. I really do.
Son of Mousefanger.
Did learn more about the founding of Curacao, and that illustration from the manuscript, like the one in the mine. Part of the history of the abbey, or Tassing, must be written down somewhere. Only the library hasn't burned down with everything in it. The ruins are right there. Maybe not everything was destroyed.
Hell yes.
Oh boy.
Hell yes.
It's time to make some more bad decisions.
Hell yes. I love bad decisions.
It'll be fine.
How bad could it be?
Guess we can go see if Stoltz was sober to tell us he can't read the book.
How long has it been since you found him passed out? Like,
A few
I
hours,
saw-
I think, was in the clock.
I feel like when you're at the passing out point, you need
Yeah,
more than a few hours.
probably. Well, he's been moved at least. Hi, Carl. Ah, I see you've,
He's doing great.
Magdalene. See, Baltus and Naziu managed to carry you home. Are you feeling better? No. I feel like shit. What do you want? You were supposed to come by and check on my dad today. His fever broke at dawn. That's good news, right? Magdalene. Klaus should have begun improving by now if you were going to improve. Numerous critical days have passed with no change. If anything, he's worse. Winter will be here soon, and I'm running low on supplies. Once the snows come, it will be months before a new shipment arrives. You don't have a stockpile? Not enough. The bandits on the road, the wars. It's out of my hands. And what are you going to do about it? I don't know. Magdalene, I don't know how to help. I've tried what I can. I'm at the limit of my knowledge. I don't know what I'm doing. The whole town depends on you, Werner. Should they?
I don't know.
No.
Probably not.
You're the university-educated physician, for God's sakes. I am. I worked hard for this, to get where I am. Even if this was not exactly what I wanted. Fine, Magdalene. My head hurts like hell. Leave me alone. Please take care of yourself, so that you can take care of the rest of us. Magdalene, what do you want? I have a book here and I can't read it very well. I was hoping,
You able to
wondering if you
read
could
in your
help me
current state?
translate it. No. But no, Magdalene, I can't be bothered by your lack of literacy. It's not stupid, I'm not illiterate. God damn you, I said no. Leave. Huh. Wow, he really, made things
He's
worse.
having a
yeah.
time.
Well, let's check it on Baltus. Alright, well, I guess we're gonna go climb around some ruins.
Hell yeah.
And not talk to Father Thomas. At least not yet. It's amazing. Wonder what it must have looked like before the fire. Everything collapsed in the fire. I'll have to be careful climbing over this rubble to get past. Yeah, maybe recruiting the twins would have been a good idea. Just to have somebody...
They could have unleashed frogs on the Abbey to make it more traversable.
Well... I think you should have a buddy when you're doing this shit. Also could have brought a rope.
Oops.
Oh no, I can't get back up there. If I climb, it might collapse further. I'll have to find another way out. Yeah, this looks safe. Nothing left but the old staircase. I guess I can't go this way. These vines go all the way to the top, though. They look sturdy enough to hold my weight. No other way out. This is a bad
You
idea.
know. Look, a lot of vining plants are very, very sturdy.
I don't know about her grip. I can see all of Tassing from here. I wonder if I can piece together the foundations of the Abbey, find a way to get to the library. I bet I could get down this way. The roof looks pretty stable. Oh yeah, it looks fine. You can tell. That looks stable?
Yeah, it's fine. What's wrong with it?
I remember when the library burned down. Dad told me it was just a baby, but I remember the flames coming out of the windows. So many people were screaming and running around. Cried myself to sleep that night. I haven't seen this place since then. Doesn't look like there's anything left inside. I suppose it was too much to hope for. How are you gonna get out of here? Roses seem to have made the Abbey their home. Thought something beautiful is still growing, huh?
Bunny.
Yeah, lots of rabbits around here.
Mhm.
Bunai.
Yeah,
It's important to
Bunai? Yeah.
it's very important. Cats. Oh, big stretch. Oh, yeah.
What in the...
Yeah, that's the good shit right there.
Dance of Death? These figures look new. The paint can't be more than a few years old. Yeah. Someone's been adding to this. This feels wrong. Who would add new figures to the Dance of Death? And why? These look like people from the town from here. People who died. Uh-huh. This must be the Baron. And that's Otto. Is that...
So, an interesting thing here is
I assume...
it's fun to see this because depending on who is executed
Right.
for the murders,
Yeah.
there are different figures here,
That's what I was assuming.
and that's
yeah.
very fun. I still had that the one to the right of the tree in the middle because that's Guy.
Uh-huh.
Yes,
the
I
blood
figured
on
that. Was
the
like, that's Gee.
yeah.
And this...
I did not see the Baron or God, what was his name? Ferenc? Was
Yeah,
that the guy who was? Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't see the
Ferenc
Baron
was
or
being
Ferenc.
Grabbed by the devil.
Yeah, because he was doing witchcraft.
Yeah, yeah.
I did have I had I had one of what's her name, the old widow,
Ottilia.
which
Ottilia.
was yeah,
Because
the
that's- yeah.
Ottilia one is fucking wild.
Oh,
So the
She's
Baron...
like
Did you have a different Baron image? Is that...
no,
There just wasn't a Baron?
no, the Baron was there. No, it was
wait, who's on the
I-
left? On the far left?
that's the Baron.
That's supposed to
That's
be
the
Rothvogel.
Baron. Oh, I couldn't tell.
I had the Baron.
Yeah, it's
I
Rothvogel,
Being-
Ferenc, Otto,
because he always dies.
Guy,
Oh,
Andreas.
Otto's in the middle.
Yeah,
Okay.
Otto
Mhm.
in the tree.
Oh, so it's supposed to be Andreas on the right.
I assume so.
Oh my god.
Um,
It seemed like
and,
Andreas was a.
And the
I didn't realize
The
Andreas was really a
kid.
target.
Yeah.
Kind of just thought it was a.
Well, yeah, I don't think he is, but yeah, because
I mean,
yeah,
not
this
all of
is,
these are. Yeah, there's
Casper. Yeah, that's the,
Yeah,
trying to
Casper.
remember the kid's name. Yeah, so
You can see his little scarf.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Poor kid. And all the fucking books.
huh.
Yeah.
I love this room.
One's here.
They left.
Who are
This is
you?
when we run.
Towards it.
That's probably fine.
Yeah, towards the danger. Guess we should make sure there's nothing at the other end, but I don't think so. Yeah. Who would be here? Make oh, what has he got there? What is Otto's in Otto's hand?
That's the
Well, it's not
like
the head of same words.
No.
Something the pamphlets or something like ripped. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is. Ah, now this door's open. I don't like this. Oh no, we gotta figure this out. Ooh, okay.
I think that's just a saw because he was a carpenter.
Oh, right. He was a carpenter. I was thinking it looked like a saw,
Oh.
but I was like, I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't think about why. Yeah. Huh? Who would be doing this part? Gertrude, did you see anyone? Somebody's stealing paint from the convent and doing art for themselves. Secret. Why did it? Just, I guess it's just the pan to sit there. Oops. Alright, well, one thing left to do. Hey, buddy. Father Thomas, do you have a moment?
Oh no. Wait, are we? Oh god.
Oh, I just want to ask
Oh,
about
okay.
Tassing Saints.
Yeah.
I'm thrilled to hear it. The Saints will make a wonderful centerpiece for the murals. Both of these are just like, no.
Time to
Yeah,
make this guy
yeah.
real unhappy.
Yeah.
Which is, God, these are, both of these are very confrontational.
Look. Sometimes Magdalene's rude.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Simply as part of Tassing's history. Of course, I consider our saints to be central to Tassing's history. Kearsarge's too. But you know, there is one saint you're overlooking. Contemplate this. Why, the Blessed Virgin, of course! Mary!
That's right.
Many people forget that Mary is the greatest saint. This guy's just been... He's got this speech saved up.
He's flipping around the chair.
And she
Hey,
visited
kids.
one of the peasants here in Tassing centuries ago.
Oh, there was a miracle? Wow.
Really? The Virgin Mary appeared in Tassing. Why? Yes, she appeared to give a message. Centuries ago, a farmer in the fields behind us had 3 visions of Mary. In the first, she told him that she wanted him to tell the Bishop of Freising that she had appeared.
I love showing up. Hey, tell the bishop that I'm appearing to you now.
The peasant traveled down to Freising, but the bishop would not see or hear him. The peasant returned to Tassing and had another vision in the field. The Virgin showed
Go
him
do it
a
again.
pattern, a labyrinth. Ooh!
Oh, wow.
So this is, yeah. She told him to draw it on a sheet of birch bark and bring the drawing to the Bishop of Freising. Why didn't she just give him the labyrinth the first time?
Keep listening.
The...
Ignored. No.
Good. The bishop attempted to turn the peasant away, but he could see the drawing of the labyrinth in his hands. It was the same image that the bishop had seen in a dream 3 nights earlier. He met with a peasant who told him of the 2 apparitions he had seen here in Tassing. The bishop was moved by the peasant's story, and he came here to Tassing. And when the bishop came, Mary appeared to both of them. She told the farmer that the town needed to build this church. She told the bishop to support the town. And so the bishop helped fund the creation of this church. The people of Tassing have been using it ever since. How did you hear the story? True, I'm not from Tassing. The people told me when I came. And the former priest told them when they were children, and so on. The priests and the flock have shared the responsibility of passing on the story over the centuries. Uh-huh. Have I convinced you to include the saints prominently in the mural? I'm still considering it. Well, if deliberation fails you, perhaps you will find that prayer gives you greater clarity. Let's get back to the round. Let's get to work. Ah, but we could ask him about the book.
I mean, how many other people are left that we can even ask?
None.
about?
None.
None.
Damn it.
That's the issue.
That's what I thought. Bro.
Yep. No one else. He's the only Latinist left.
The lastinist.
Oh my god.
Oh, always glad to help.
Mm-hmm.
Moose, you know, you were not here for Stargate the other day, and
yeah.
I thought of you. We had a moment in the episode where so it's the you remember Mayborn is the character that was in this episode who came back. It's another play. It's just a guy, but he was showing SG1 an alien fruit, and he was like, it's like a cross between a guava and a mango. And Daniel very skeptically,
You call it a guango?
yeah, Daniel was like,
Good.
sort of a guango.
I'm glad I guessed the exact correct one. I'm glad that is what makes you think of me.
Yeah.
I'm glad. It is. I think you have a correct impression.
All right, Thomas. Let's see what happens.
It'll probably be fun.
Can you spare a moment? Of course, Magdalene. Well, I found this book. I can't read the Latin. Could you help me translate it? The whole book? I can't afford that much time away from my duties right now. The Christmas sermon is coming up, and I've already fallen behind on Advent preparations.
Why don't you leave the book
Could
with
the
me?
matter wait, perhaps? I'd be happy to look over it after the festivities. I suppose. Okay, well... Fine. We didn't tell him what the book was. We
Yeah,
just said we had a
he
book
does not
in
know.
Latin. Alright. He's definitely not the one painting that mural, though.
Well, you don't think that Thomas has some Nightmare Picasso ass shit in him?
I don't.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like the guy.
I don't know who that would be. That's very interesting. Oh, hi, Werner.
Hey, bud.
So, you're doing quick work at the mural, huh? Hope that doesn't make you sloppy.
Are you just here to be rude?
I've rigged the scaffolding sheets so that enough air can flow through. That way the layers dry quickly. Yes, how very clever of you. In any case, the council wants to hear what you're doing. I've been researching the early Christian history of Tassing after the Romans left. Learning how people settled in the ruins, how the abbey was founded, why our saints are so important to us. It was a lot to take in, but I've settled on my subject. Have we?
Well, you are now.
Yeah. Sure. None of these are super exciting.
Yeah.
That might rub some people in town the wrong way. Saints are a core part of Tassing's history, after all. People want to cling to all manner of stories in order to give their lives some meaning. The mural isn't for your benefit, but to make Tassing look good. I remember. After this section, there's still so much work to do. I haven't even figured out how I'm going to prepare the revolt. Yes, I imagine it poses difficulties that the other murals do not. It's a strange thing to tell a story that still lives in the hearts of so many people here. I don't think anyone wants to talk about it. They've all just locked it away. Sounds like you have your work cut out for you. Leave you to it. Doctor, have you ever seen someone lurking around the Abbey? Or heard about it? I haven't been up to the Abbey in years. No, I haven't heard of anything like that. Why? I've seen someone following me. A few times. No, I don't know anything about it. Jesus! I mean, he is, but... I have the final part of the mural to finish. How should I paint the revolt? Talked about the Archdeacon. It's the only one seeking justice in those days. But what was his name? Only name I can remember is the name of the Archdeacon came to Tassing when the Baron was killed. Jacob Estler. Or Jacob. Maybe he wrote an account of the revolt as an Archdeacon. I'll write to him and ask. And of course I need to write back to Esther, too. I'll write them tonight before bed.
How are you doing with clothes?
Freising. My name is Magdalene Drucker, and I'm an artist in the town of Tassing in Upper Bavaria. I believe you passed through our community when you investigated Baron Rothvogel's murder at Kirsau Abbey in 1518. Do you remember anything about that case that the people in Tassing might not remember? Yeah, do you know the conspiracy taking place over decades?
Hey, look, if you just know about this shit, I would love to have it explained.
More have appeared in Tassing in subsequent years, seemingly harbingers of death. Thank you for any help you can give. Magdalene Drucker. Esther, hope you're well. You must know how tremendously happy I am for you and Simon. And Elisha too, of course, and your parents. It warms my heart to know that your family is doing so well. By the time this letter reaches you, I expect winter will have unfolded Tassing. It's already freezing at night, so I've reorganized the workshop so the inks don't deteriorate. Do you have to worry about that in Prague? You've said it snows, but I always imagined it was warmer in winter. Dad's condition is so much worse, and he's in so much pain. Dr. Stoltz has been, well, he's a useless asshole. Only God knows why he's such a bitter old man, but he's neglected Dad almost entirely. It's no secret that he's an utter failure of a doctor, and drunkard to boot. What a disgusting waste of a man. I worry
Fucking
about Dad.
brutal.
I've asked Agnes for help, but there's only so much we can do alone. He's not going to make it, and there's nothing I can do. I'm scared, Esther. The mural is progressing well, but I can't shake the feeling that someone is following me. I keep seeing this figure around town. After I explored the mines to see Tassing's early history, and then again in the Abbey ruins. If it's the person who attacked my dad, why are they following me? It's the strangest thing. Given me a fright a few times already. But I don't mean to worry you. Nothing's happened to me yet, so I think I'll be safe. The only good news I can share
They'll
at
be
the moment
fine.
is that the mural is almost finished. I should have it completed by Christmas, or soon after. Before the new year, at least. Perhaps at long last I shall be able to visit you. I fear this will be my last letter of the year. The Reichspost has already been late, and reported worsening snows the passes. You seem to be stepping into a harsh winter. Stay warm, and give my regards to your family, and Simon. What a nightmare to receive a letter that takes, X amount of time to get delivered to you. And it's like, yeah, so somebody's following me around. Maybe the guy who tried to kill my dad, But don't worry, I'm sure I'm fine.
And you'll know about that in 4 weeks.
Yeah, it's like, and if you don't hear anything from me, I might already
That's
be
because
dead when you
I
got this
might be
letter.
dead, but also also maybe the person on a horse who was bringing this to you is.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Okay, well, I guess we'll pass some more time. Oh, we got a note. Oh dear.
That's fun.
Where was that?
On your
On your bed.
On the bed? That's what I thought.
This is fine.
Are they trying to scare me?
Are they not succeeding?
Yeah, are you not scared, Magdalene? Feeling I'm gonna find out sooner or later.
That can't scare me. I don't know how to read.
We need to ask Dad about this. It can't be a yeah, no shit, Magdalene. I mean,
So
sorry.
I was going to say, so I am curious. Who all do you think it is, and like, why do you think that?
Said the priest.
Yeah, but like, why do you think it?
'Cause
His
he's
father
been here the
Thomas.
whole time, and seems like he would have a vested interest in protecting secrets of
He
Tassing
of
or something.
people
I
who
guess
know
there's
like
not a lot of people in this.
right, who've been there the whole
Talk about-
time, who would have the calligraphy, who could
Yes, that
plausibly
too.
have the calligraphy skills they've emphasized, and whose handwriting we have not seen.
Mhm.
And who has a vested interest in like maintaining the like, because it seems like it's basically somebody who is devoted to protecting the church's interests in town.
Yeah. I think
Right.
so. During my playthrough, I had a very similar suspicion to that about this exact
Uh-huh.
point in the game.
I think, yeah, the thing is like who's doing the mural and who's following her. Like the church or the stuff in the old abbey, like I said, hard to imagine that's Thomas. That is like somebody that, that feels a lot more like somebody who is like either a survivor of the fire or somebody who's like, because that's like it's somebody who's like doing this for themselves to kind of like exercise, some very strong feelings, right? Like no one else is intended to see that mural. And it seems like they kind of, it almost suggests somebody is like living out in the abbey. I mean, we didn't see any evidence of that, I guess. So maybe it's somebody in town that's going out there, but like,
So to that end, like, what are your thoughts on why like the first two people were murdered?
well, we
Who?
thought Rothvogel was murdered because he had the book that we're trying to
Uh-huh.
translate, and that it says something about the history of Tassing that, uh, the Threadfuller does not want to come out. And then Otto, I mean, if it follows a similar pattern, and I don't know that it actually does, it might just be straightforwardly what it seemed to be, which is Otto was leading a peasant revolt.
Yeah.
But if it was similarly like, oh, there's a secret motivation, it would be about the head of St. Moritz, something to do with that. Because, yeah, I mean, obviously, like, this Mithraeum stuff has to have something to do with this, presumably. This is the kind of like the big element that's been introduced with Magdalene, which I assume we're gonna find the remains of the Mithraeum, possibly, or that it's like the Mithraeum was, I mean, presumably, I guess, so we know the Roman fort was built here, and that's what the abbey was built from. So is basically the abbey, I would assume basically that the Mithraeum was probably somewhere connected to the fort because that's where the Roman presence was. And especially because, I mean, I guess they haven't said this in the game, I think, but like the Mithraic cult is very associated with specifically like Roman soldiers, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Legionnaires. So is it like the church, the abbey is like part of it is converted from the Mithraeum or something, which would, I mean, just be an,
Uh,
I don't, it's just
I
like, I don't know
think
what
So
it,
you
I
have
saw
seen
a
a map that placed
Yeah.
the Mithraeum.
Oh,
It was in
Oh,
the
we did.
yeah.
right.
It was in the mines or
Yeah,
something, right?
Yeah, it was like on the wall in the mine,
I
I think.
remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Uh, and like the Mithraeum was definitely separate from where the Abbey is because
Yeah.
Right.
the Abbey is where
That's
the
right.
fort was.
Right. So it
Right.
Yeah,
is
'cause you have
off
like
on
the
its
fort,
own.
then the aqueduct, then the Mithraeum was like
Yes.
Right,
The
below
Mithraeum's like
that's
in the
right.
town or something.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what they're trying to cover up. I don't know what they're concerned about. But it
Yeah,
seems
I
like
don't
it's
know.
something, yeah, associated with the Mithraeum. But like, why do they care? And maybe they care, and maybe it's not something that makes sense to us, because it's like they're
Probably.
early modern. If they're an early modern,
weirdos.
like Catholic, like they have a lot of concerns that
strange
just
ideas.
sound like why does this matter? Who cares? I mean that's like the whole, especially obviously of course if we look at Name of the Rose as source of inspiration, that's the whole thing in Name of the Rose, right? Is that like you get to the end and find out what the motivation for all this is, and you're
And
like,
it's just the weirdest shit in
it's
the
like,
world.
what the fuck? What?
Like, what are you talking
You
about? What?
dumbass. Like,
Yeah, I do remember that.
uh,
God,
jokes
I
are
should
part of the
reread.
devil.
Yeah, I should reread Name of the Rose.
Christ
It was
never
very
laughed.
good.
Yeah. Which again, like that all feels like a thing that, like, yeah, Thomas is like somebody who you could see, sort of pulling the mask off into that kind of perspective. Um, who else likes art? Paul does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say the
Uh,
only person I can think of in town is like
Paul's,
Paul and Claus.
Yeah, Paul.
and like
yeah.
one of Paul's kids now, I think.
yeah. I don't think Paul's
Uh,
sneaking off to the Abbey and
You don't think Andreas Jr. is out there doing just wild ass shit?
No.
I did briefly. I was like, what if it was like Casper grown up is like living in the like a secret hermit out here and like painting this shit.
Yes.
That would rule, actually.
I think if it were somebody that's not in town or in the convent, we would have seen more stuff of like evidence of habitation, like while we were there, that like somebody was or somewhere else, in the forest or something.
Mhm.
Um,
Oh, speaking of which, you did get a prompt to talk to Woslaw about the cats. That is something you should follow up on at some
oh, that's an
point.
actual thing we could do. Okay.
Yes, you that.
I
I
didn't-
think whenever you can next see Woslaw, you can ask him,
Okay.
"Hey,
Yeah. I assume he's they're
he's
not
probably
out
asleep
anymore,
right
but
now."
yeah, we can do that. Yeah. So yeah, the Mithraeum is in the town. What is? I mean, yeah, it seems like there could be something with Moritz and the whole, I guess, like, because the story about Moritz or Mauritius coming here with the Roman soldiers, and then I guess that could be it, is if there's some evidence that like Moritz wasn't Christian. Like if Moritz slash Mauritius was part,
Predated.
yeah,
the
is like
Um,
part of the Mithraic cult, and then like they built the, and there's something there in the Mithraeum that yeah, like has his name on it or something. Because that would then tie into possibly the Moritz's head. I still don't know what the hell, like, I don't know what to do with that about Otto being like, I have the head of Saint Moritz. Like,
Well,
what do
know.
you have? What do you like? A skull? Like, he didn't say I
it's
have
a
the
very-
skull of St. Moritz. He said he had the head.
Usually the saints' bodies are like.
It's a very normal
preserved
thing to say.
sometimes.
Oh yeah, little reliquaries. Here's
Yeah.
the various bones.
Alright. Let's go to sleep. How close are we to the end? I assume we're...
Pretty close. There is like at least one more full like day of walking around and doing like tasks that will lead into the end. And I think it is just the one more like full day. But
Is
I am
the
not
end...
sure.
I assume the end is not very long. Sort of...
Not it it takes a bit. There's some stuff to do.
Okay. So maybe
And
we should...
there is also a lot of, all these things where you're like, how do
never
these
finished
fit
this.
together? They look you in the eyes and explain them if you want them to.
Oh, good.
Uh-huh.
So the game will be info dumping at you about all its clever tricks.
Interesting. I was wondering whether it's actually going to do that or just, like...
Not all, but
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a game that is interested in you knowing the mystery.
Okay. That's...
Once you get there.
Yeah. Because I was not sure at this point, like, how much answers we're actually
And
going to
so
get.
it's interesting because I think I'll talk about that later.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we'll have a big... Yeah, because I think then we'll probably just stop.
I'll have a lot to say about that subject once you
Yeah.
get there.
I think we'll stop here and then finish it. Then next week we should be able to finish it. And then have discussion time.
Makes sense.
So
I like Magdalen's big ol' scarf
Yeah.
thing. Looks real cozy. I want one.
Fashion.
Yeah.
Look at this guy.
This guy rocks.
I love this guy. Yeah.
I don't remember what he looked like back when we originally saw him.
Basically
No.
the same. I think his hair might have not been gray yet.
I would hope so. That was
I
like,
feel like you didn't see much of him because he was sitting behind, like,
yeah.
Yeah,
The
you didn't get his
judge's
full
bench.
outfit. You just kind of got the
Right.
head. I love his big fucking chain.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's the
Look at that coat.
I guess in this case that's the archdeacon. I guess it's like a
Yeah.
symbol of office. I know I've seen that.
Yeah.
I saw
do-
Henry VIII wearing that.
well, it has been over a decade since he served as an archdeacon, it turns out. So maybe not.
Okay.
I think maybe he kept it. Maybe he got to have it as a souvenir.
I'm no longer associated with the office of the Prince Bishop. In fact, I'm no longer associated with the Catholic Church. Ooh. If you do not mind conversing with a Lutheran, I will tell you what I remember. Oh.
Whoa.
They're capital L Lutherans now.
The notes you mentioned do stir something in my memory. One of the men I questioned at Kiersau was an artist from Nuremberg, Andreas Mahler. He mentioned finding notes written in a fine hand, inciting individuals to violence against the Baron. While the scope of my investigation was too narrow to look into the matter, it did concern me. Finding more notes now, after so many years, must mean that their author is still active. If this is the case, a serpent has lain coiled in the bosom of your community for decades. It may lay there still. What causes this serpent to awaken every few years to stage a new killing? Every few decades.
You know.
Yeah, right?
Look, this guy is having fun writing this.
The killer is Tombs. It's
Oh no.
it's like yeah, but like Moose is the only one who would find
Look quick, look for the garbage nest.
I fear that finding the answer to that question may draw you into its reach. Yeah, too late.
No, it's probably fun.
If you are determined to find the source of the trouble, I believe you must inquire with your neighbors. I urge caution in your investigation into this matter. If the serpent merely sleeps, it may be dangerous to poke into its old resting places. I hope this has been of some help to you.
I like that he basically has a bunch of conclusions that you got to already, but with some bonus talk about serpents.
Yeah, it's like you have no information for us, but thanks,
But he does
buddy.
have
I
some
appreciate
great
the moral
metaphors.
support.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. Ah, we're going to Christmas.
Yeah.
Hey, it
Look.
might be Christmas Eve.
Yeah, it's Christmas Eve. That's still Christmas.
It's just an Eve.
Christmas Eve means it wasn't yet Christmas.
Fuck.
Good.
Good lord.
I need to play that.
Didn't you pick it up?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
probably
you
should
play
then.
I'm sorry, Dr. Stoltz said you can't come to the festivities tonight. I know how much you love the Perchtenlauf.
I love the Perchtenlauf.
For Perchta. Or perched in, I guess. And there's always next year. Yeah. How are you feeling? Dr. Stoltz said he would come by again today. I'm fine. Maybe I should stay home with you today. No, Magdalene. If you want to work, you should work. It's alright. My spirits are lifted today. It's Christmas Eve, after all. There's only one more sleep till Christmas. Dad, I found a note back in November. A note? What do you mean? It was like a note I found in your plans for the murals. Just a scrap of old parchment. Looked like it came out of an old manuscript. Elaborate writing, purple ink. It just said, stop. Do you know where they came from? Who wrote them? Magdalene. Oh god, that must be Utz. Said he'd drop by with more firewood. If you know something, I'd like you to tell me, alright? I know, I will. Can we talk about it later? Be back later. Alright. We have saved. We'll get to start next time by talking to Utz.
Everybody's favorite activity.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Talking to this asshole.
Whoops. Oh, I meant to go to the menu. Said I could quit the game. But that's fine. Well, thanks everybody for joining us. We will finish the game next week.
Maybe.
I hope so.
I feel like
I
I've
think
been
you should
saying
be
that
able
for
to.
like 2 weeks. Like, it
Well-
can't be that much more.
It's a lot longer than I think you initially think.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I think it's to its credit that it manages to do that without like, feeling like it's dragging.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think it has earned the length so far. But I am extremely curious to see how it lands.
Yeah. I am excited to see what you think.
Yeah.
All right. Good night, everyone.